Slightly Unblended. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm just gonna do a summer base tutorial to like wear your makeup, well, wear my makeup lasts all day. I kind of discuss like the variations of why makeup could kind of break up throughout the day for just a second with what little knowledge that I have. So if you want to know what I did to keep my makeup on during the hot summer days in the soupy Arkansas weather, then just keep on watching. Do a quick base tutorial. I am the queen of procrastination. I've had my eyes done for several hours and I just completely went downhill spiraling from there. So anyway, I'm doing this the night before this is supposed to go up. So yeah, this look will be up probably pretty quick. I think I have one more to go up before it, but I might go ahead and put this one up before because I like this look a lot. So to start out, I'm going to go ahead and use the NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer. So this is kind of like the base that I do that where my skin looks really dewy, and I am going to say, like I'm going to mention because I'm probably about to like kind of go over this, but like I have an oily T-zone and it's super like, I'm super shiny right here. And I really don't even know if I want to, like, I just generally stay pretty oily right there, which I don't feel like is necessarily a bad thing because sometimes I do get caked up in here if I, like, am not properly, like, hydrated. And, yeah, anyway, so to start out, I'm just going to take the NYX Hydra Drops, as I said, and take a few drops onto my face. And I'm gonna just go ahead and pat that in. I usually have my stand set up and my mirror on it and just like hold that, or like the stand will hold my mirror so that I can see everything that I'm doing. I am kind of peely for some odd reason. Like, I exfoliated last night, but I think that my skin just hasn't completely gotten over being sunburned because my forehead was really badly sunburned, which is why I am behind on making this tutorial. But yeah, so I'm just going to let the oil set for a second and go ahead and start kind of gathering my stuff while it does set. So generally for my next step, because I really like to look like a glazed donut, like I feel like it is like essential to look like a glowy glazed donut, I take the Yensa Beauty Duet Highlighting Face Balm in a Morning Dew, which I love so much. Actually, no, that's not the next step. Look at me jumping ahead of everything and anything because I am a complete wreck. But my next step is primer. So if I want to have a face that lasts all day in the summer heat, because in Arkansas it gets muggy, it gets soupy. I walk outside, my hair says and my skin says ah! And it's like I'm walking into a bowl of soup. So for that, I like to use, if I'm going out, I like to use products that I know will stay and not budge all day, but still make my skin look really a lot better than it looks. Like, I have dark marks from picking because I do pick at my face. I know that's not good, but I did order, I'm going to do a video when they come in, but I ordered some stuff to like test out to how to get rid of the spots for me picking. But anyway, if I want a base that's going to last, I use products that I know work very well for that. And one of my absolute favorite primers is the Yensa Color Face Tone Up Primer Essential Glow. There are really great ingredients in this. I love Yensa, and that's pretty much what is going to consist of the main bits of my face. And I forgot to go and wet my sponge, so after I apply my primer, I'll do that. But I just take a kind of a lot of it. I was going to say a little bit, but I just put a lot, but it's whatever. I haven't been using this very often because I've been at home, but I usually use like my NYX Honey Do Me Up primer for just like doing a look for like regular shenanigans that I do. So I'm just gonna rub that in and put it everywhere that I feel like I might have something that I would like for the primer to do its job on. I'm just gonna go across my nose. My nose is kind of where I have some pores, but I definitely notice like in here I see pores, but this really does a nice job at hiding my pores. And like I said, I just love Yensa. I cannot like brag enough on Yensa for being one of the products that I found through Ipsy that has been like a staple in my collection. And I must say that this has lasted me so long. There's still plenty in there, but like I bought one and I didn't want to use that because I was like, if we decide to go somewhere one of these days and I don't need to take a lot of makeup, I can take that and there's still plenty in there. So I'm going to let this set. I'm going to go wet this sponge and then I'm going to apply my duet. So I'll be right back. I am back with the sponge. I'll just use that one. I might use a brush for my other products. But not much has changed since I've done like my contouring routine. It kind of has, but it kind of hasn't. So it's pretty, I feel like it's pretty quick, but I also like sometimes feel like my face takes almost as long as my eyes. But yeah, this is the duet and I love it. So I'm just gonna stick my finger in, get some on it, and on the high points of my cheek, right there, I apply it. And then I kind of feel like this side of my face is the hardest part to work with, but it's not the side that I photographed anyway. I'm left-handed, so I feel like my left side is like the good side. Just go back into that as much as I feel like I want. I want to be super glowy. And let me show you how to be super glowy, because this really is like super easy to work with. I'm just going to rub my finger all in it. And I'm going to not only take it on the high points of my face, but I'm just going to like kind of rub it all over and like blend it in, because it just gives you that glowy, like really nice glow. I don't know how to explain it, but I do love to go outside and get golden hour pictures when I have this on, because I just feel like it definitely makes my highlighter pop. And I'm all about that glazed donut life. I can't even talk today. What else is new? Can I talk any other day? No, but here we are. So now I'm just gonna take my other Yensa goodies here. This is the Skin on Skin BC foundation, BB and CC full coverage foundation with SPF 40. Yes, like I am so happy that makeup is starting to kind of include like skincare things. And normally, because I'm not going anywhere, I really wouldn't use this because I don't want to run out, and it is kind of on the high end side of pricing, but it does make my skin look good. So I will repurchase it because it is good. But I just kind of put there, and this, since I've went out into the sun and I kind of did get tan when I did get sunburn, it doesn't necessarily match as well as it did before, but it's okay. But anyway, where I was going with that is I get fine lines right in here, so I'm not going to add any of my foundation there. I know that there are certain spots on my face that just, they kind of get cakey, if that makes sense. And it's really just that small line right there, that parenthesis, that I have to worry about. So I don't put foundation there, but I do on this side, on my right side, because it doesn't do that there for whatever reason. But, you know, like, I just feel like sometimes my whole body can just be a big old weirdo. So here we are. But I'm just going to pat that in. And you see with that duet, I still look nice and glowy. And I love that. So I'm avoiding anywhere that I really know that it gets cakey. With any leftover on my sponge, I'll take it onto my forehead, because I really try to avoid my hairline if I can. because I don't want to get foundation in my hair. And it's a really nice coverage. I am going to take some of the concealer to cover this bad boy that decided it was going to pop up. So I'm just trying really, really hard to avoid my hairline and just get everything else covered up. I'm also avoiding my under eyes as best as possible, and my neck is broken out as well, and I did kind of pick at it, so I'm not going to put foundation there right now. I'll probably cover it with concealer. Actually, let me just cover it with concealer now because it's going to bother me because I brought attention to it. So I'm going to take one that's not necessarily my color, but it should cancel out the redness, and I'm applying it to the back of my hand. I know I'm talking really fast, but I'm trying to get as much done as possible before my camera cuts off. But I'm going to just kind of pat that on any little breakout that I have going on to cover it up. I know it's not going to like totally like erase it, but it'll take some of that redness out so that it's not as noticeable, because I've been fighting with that for like a week. It's just like, it doesn't want to go away. It's like, this is my home now, and it's like, no, it's not. Go away. Okay. I need to slow down. I am super, super anxious right now, and I talk really fast sometimes when I get that way, so I apologize. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I'm glad that I was talking fast because I knew my camera was going to cut off because I had to go wet my sponge and everything. But this right here is the Yensa BC Concealer, BB&CC Full Coverage Concealer with 8 Super Block Essence, and it's really awesome. I love it. It looks so good. It does dry kind of quickly, so it can kind of be a little bit of a pain to work with, but that's alright. It's worth it because it's just really nice and it's really creamy, and I love it. And I'm going to take a little down the bridge of my nose, a little on my chin, right here, and on the little buddy up there that decided that my forehead is its rental property for right now, even though it pays me no rent. I'm gonna take this side of my sponge that's not the flat side, and oh, this is the Moon Slice Beauty sponge. I'm just gonna pat that in, try to avoid my eye makeup, but also try to clean up where I have some fallout from wearing it for entirely too long without actually finishing it. I like to try to look up because I do have little folded like fine lines on my under eyes, and I heard that if you look up it helps to make them not as bad. So I do that, and sometimes it works and sometimes I feel like I just go too fast, because usually by the time that I get to this point in my routine I'm just kind of over it, because I really just get super excited about doing my eyes, and then I just want to like finish them and see how the look turns out, because I suck. But you know, it's like that sometimes. Just looking on up. I actually got a really, really good deal around Mother's Day on these Yensa products, because I wanted to get some when I was getting close to running out of that sample, because I really just fell in love with them. And so I was looking, and around Mother's Day it was like a bundled deal, and I want to say it was like $90 or something like that, and you got their primer, their concealer, their foundation, and a blending sponge. May have been $80, but that really wasn't a bad deal, because I do believe their foundation alone is about $40. So it was like, okay, and I don't feel like the primer is that far off in price, so I was like, that's a pretty good deal, I'll get it. And they had Afterpay, so that's always a plus. So now that I have that ready, what I'm going to do next is take my Melt Sculpt Stacks. Actually, this has kind of changed up since my contour video, but I'm going to go into the lightest contour shade, and I'm going to take their brush that come in the set for that. You can use any brush that you're comfortable with. I'm just going to take this one and get a little bit on the sponge, or on the sponge, on the brush. I say a little bit and then I just keep tapping it in, and I'm going to kind of map out from my top of my ear. I kind of use it as the point to where I figure out what I'm doing with everything. I forgot the word I was looking for, because for some reason the shadows on this side while I'm in here filming or doing my makeup at all don't hit like they do on this other side. I guess it's just the way the lighting's set up. And anyway, so that's how I do that. And then like the shadow over here kind of does the same thing. And if it looks like it's a little higher on the other side, I'll just add a little bit more, because during the blending process that will be easy to take care of. And I do like to apply it to the little, like above my nostrils and my septum, like the end of my nose, with any of the extra. And for my nose, I'm going to take these Morphe brushes. This is the M3 brush. Can't remember the set that I got it out of. I got them like 3 years ago at the Morphe store, like the first time that I went, maybe the second time that I went, but I picked them up. And I'm just going to contour my nose. How do I want to do this? I noticed a Pinterest one and I really want to try it, but I also don't want to mess it up, but I also really just don't care right now. So let's, oh yeah, I just totally messed it up, but let's see if I can salvage it from there. Okay, I'm trying to button her up here. And because I've taken my eyeshadow a little farther down my nose than I normally do, I'm gonna try to focus it more on the end of my nose. Now I'm gonna take the not there anymore, but it's another brush that comes this, and I'm going to blend that out real quick. I'm gonna take it up towards front of my brow. This would probably have been better if I decided that I wanted to use my setting powder. I rarely use powder, but I guess I'll end up doing that here just a little bit to try to clean up this landing strip I have going on. Somebody called it that once on Twitter, and now I can't unsee it. Yeah, this looks quite horrid. I'm gonna take my It's Likely Makeup and Frivolous Cosmetics no name brush, because I've used it so much the name's not there, and I'm gonna blend out my contour here, and I'm gonna go upwards because I don't want to drag it down and make my face look lower or saggy. I want to have like a real like snatched facelift kind of thing going on here. And people do have, like, there have been some people that have said like when you wear a cream it might not last as long if you don't powder, but I'm going to show you how to make it last, because I don't use a lot of powder. I feel like with my skin and the fact that I am 27, I'm just trying to use the least amount of powder as possible, because I don't want to like get all crepey and whatnot. I want to look dewy and like just a glazed donut, as I've mentioned a million times. That's like all I know how to say, I guess. But alright, so we're looking kind of wild. The next step that I do is I take my ColourPop. I tend to go through several, well, two. It's either this or the Rare Beauty one, and I'm really feeling this one today, but this is the ColourPop Blush Sticks in Splash. And I just take it and put it right there, and on my nose. I know we're looking a little wild right now, but it's okay. We gotta trust the process. Alright, where's my, oh, I'll use my dry sponge for this, but I'm just gonna blend that out, and I'm gonna kind of take it up. Bring it up. I know I'm kind of getting it in my hairline. I've kind of lost hope for not doing that at this point. I need to wash my hair anyway, so it's whatever. Blend it out, blend it out. Anytime I'm like, blend it out, I think of shake it out. And I can't unhear it, so forgive me for butchering a good song. I'm gonna quickly take care of my nose because I really just cannot take myself seriously at this point. So at the same side that I had my concealer on, I'm just gonna try to calm this down. I really shouldn't have decided that I wanted to try what I found on Pinterest today. That kind of fudged it up, but you know what? That's the fun of makeup. We're just playing around with it. Like, it washes off because as soon as I'm finished here and I get my pictures of this eye look and finish the outro and intro of the videos that I'm working on right now, I'm taking it off. And I know I just said that, like, I don't use powder, but at this point I feel like I really should not have done that thing that I found on Pinterest, and I'm gonna have to powder around my nose. But I'm gonna wait on that. So now I'm just gonna take some highlighter. When I said I wanted to look like a glazed donut, I very, very, very well meant it. So I'm gonna take the Rare Beauty Enlighten Liquid Illuminizer, and I'm gonna take care of all of my cream products before my powder products. And I'm putting it kind of down the bridge of my nose, on the end of my nose. I put 3 dots on my cheeks. I'm gonna put a bit on my chin, and I put some on my Cupid's bow, and I'm gonna put it at the front of both brows, but I'm gonna blend it out over towards each side of my face. I'm gonna set it with my powder products, and I'm super excited about those because I do plan on making a video with more Clionadh products because I did get some, and I'm really, really excited to show you the magic that I'm about to work with. But I'm just gonna take really any brush that you're comfortable with for this. I'm using this SL Miss Glam brush. It is the SG62 brush, and I'm gonna pat this out. Just really blend it in with that blush and get it nice and blend it in. And already we are glowy, super glowy. My skin looks like it is as healthy as it could ever be, even though I feel like it's quite angry with me from being sunburned. But that's okay. Fake it till you make it. And I like to blend out my Cupid's bow with my finger. I don't know, I feel like this is pretty laid back. I am explaining, but I'm like having more fun with it. Like, yep, this is what we're doing. We're gonna be glowy, and I'm just gonna like make jokes about myself because that's just what I do. So I'm just gonna blend that highlighter over, and already we look like we are going to have glowy skin all day. And really honestly, this does make, like, doing it this way, it seems like a lot and it can take a long time, but for it to last all day, I take the extra steps, and to me it's worth it. But it's really kind of something that everybody has to play around with according to your skin type. Like, I have a very oily T-zone, but sometimes I do get like an oily chin, or every once in a while I'll kind of get oily all over, but not so much as just like my T-zone. Very oily. So that would be the part that I wouldn't really mind adding a little powder. But normally I can make it throughout the day with this base and the way that I do it just fine. But it all just depends on your skin. So what I do for me might not necessarily work for you. But if you have products that work well for you, but you feel like they need to last a little longer, maybe there might be something here that I can help you to make it last longer. If you're really oily and you feel like your makeup's breaking up because of the sweat on top of your oil, I would probably recommend using a translucent setting powder, but I would probably do it sparingly because if you use a lot, it can be cakey. And I really just don't, because I know, like, when I would try to set my fine lines, it would kind of emphasize them more. That was really before I got into skincare, so I haven't really tried it. But also having a foundation that matches very well can help you to avoid applying makeup, like foundation, to places that you know that makeup sets and settles into. So that's just my best advice that I can give. I'll do more research and like skincare research and stuff like that, I really don't mind because it's a lot of fun. But now I feel like I'm being really too rambly, and I'm really excited to get to the highlighter, and that is kind of what I have to offer in that aspect. So there's that. So as far as making sure that my contour and everything lasts all day, oh, let's make a mess. I did not add a cream bronzer. Most days I do, but if I want for it to stay in place all day, I will add a powder bronzer over around the contoured area. So for that, I'm going to use the Bahama Mama bronzer from the Balm, and I'm going to take a brush. Oh, that had blush on it. I'm glad I didn't do that. I would have fudged that up real good. So I'm going to take this Firmer 103 brush and some of my Bahama Mama bronzer. Be very dramatic about dipping it down in there for no reason. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to get it on the bronzer. On the contour. And get it nice and blended. And kind of get it around my forehead so that I don't have so much going on and it not look like it's undone or unfinished. Just kind of pat that there. I know it looks really, really wild right now, but what I'm going to do is take a, maybe make a big mess first. I'm going to take a huge fluffy face brush and work on blending that out like that. And it's kind of dragged down a little farther than I want. So I'm just going to take my foundation sponge part, the sponge or the foundation side, and I'm going to just very gently use any remaining foundation over it to fix where it got a little bit lower than I wanted, and to try to make it look a little bit more natural, because that bronzer, if you overdo it like I do in that step, it can look not like it's blended in. So adding a little tiny bit of the foundation over top, just with the lightest amount of pressure, really helps just to kind of like melt it into the skin. Now I'm gonna take my Clionadh highlighter. Did you think I was gonna say eyeshadow? I ordered 2 highlighters and I'm so excited. There is ANU, I think it's pronounced Anu, but if I'm wrong, please correct me, and that's this one, and it is absolutely beautiful. And then Clionadh Light. And I'm gonna probably take ANU. I would rather spell it out right now because I don't want to butcher the name. But I'm just going to take it on a little brush like this and pat that down in there and apply it to the high points of my cheeks and really just try to like get it nice and blended in. And it can come off as a few different tones. It's a multi-chrome or multicolored highlighter, and it is just absolutely beautiful. And look at that glow. Just peep it though. I love it so much. I was so excited when this came in, and that was like the first thing that I did was come in here and touch up my makeup and apply it. And I was like, okay, I've been missing out. I've just been buying their eyeshadows, and this whole time they've had the best highlighters. And I should have known that they were going to be the best because their eyeshadows are the best. Their shimmers that I use, the best that I've ever tried. Maybe one day they'll love me enough to follow me on Instagram. But until then, I'm doing my best to just tell everybody about them because I love their stuff so much. So much. I'm gonna put it on my chin. I know I kind of feel like my energy is just like completely everywhere right now. I'm really stressed out, and I'm just trying to make myself feel better by doing makeup and being goofy, and sometimes me being goofy comes off as obnoxious, so I do apologize, but I'm just trying to make myself feel better, and sometimes you just gotta like take care of you. And doing makeup and being goofy is how I'm doing that today. So I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics number 6 or number 8 brush. I think it's number 8. Yeah, it's a number 8 brush. It's a little tiny baby fan brush that I love so much. And I'm going to take Clionadh Light on it. And I'm going to get on the bridge of my nose. And on the end of it. And for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take some of the KVD Beauty Alchemist holographic highlighter, and I'm going to take the sapphire shade, the blue one, for the brow bone highlight. I think I just said that, but that's what I'm going to do just so I can match my eyes a little better. And I have some on already, but I just want to like blend them together. I love to be sparkly. And I had so much fun with this look. Are we super glowy yet? Alright, I feel like I'm super glowy, so that makes me really, really happy. So what I want to do now is take my Moon Slice Beauty Blushing Moon Palette. I'm probably just going to take the pink shade. No, yeah. I've been really hitting the like peachy shade a lot, but I'm going to use this pink shade here. I thought about using my ColourPop highlighter from the Lizzie McGuire collection or the Powerpuff ones. The Powerpuff Girls collection, but they're really, really loud, and this is just like the hint of blush that I desire right now. So I'm going to take the pink one and take this Luxie foundation brush, which I only exclusively use for a blush brush. So that's like the fun thing about brushes, is you can make them be for whatever you want them to be. I'm just going to kind of get that 80s effect going on very lightly and very gently, just so that I can get it blended together with that highlighter and it be a little bit more natural. There's nothing natural about this look, but I don't believe in natural makeup. I do how I feel, and I felt like I wanted to be artsy and fun. It sounds like there's somebody outside my window being loud, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. Anyway, I'm really, really loving this eye look. I'm really excited for the tutorial to go up. So now that I have that blended in, the best that I know how to do with blush, I recently started using blush like last year or the year before. I was always scared to use blush because I thought it would wash me out. A lot of people were like, well, you shouldn't use blush, it'll wash you out. But it really just depends on the shade of blush and your skin tone, but that helps to set all of the cream products in place. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my Tatcha, the silk powder, to fix the monstrosity that is my nose. This is the Morphe M0 brush, and it was in the set for nose contouring, so that's how I do powder on my nose when or if I do. Now if this looks crusty, I'm going to be a little foul, but I'm going to use a little oil trick that I learned from Jaclyn Hill a few years ago to kind of fix all that. So I'm just going to pat that on. Really feel like that kind of helped a bit. Maybe what I did from the Pinterest thing was meant to be used if you're going to like bake or powder your nose. And those are things that I just don't like to do. But if my nose were to get super oily, it would for sure last if it's got the powder. I just don't like the way that it makes my skin look. And I don't like to edit my pictures very much at all. Like, if the lighting's not right, I'll fix that. But I don't like to edit my skin. I just, like, I'm not, like, talking crap about anybody that does. But, like, if you see me in person, you're gonna see that if I have a breakout or if I have like parentheses and bacon strips going on my face. So honestly, I don't feel like there's any point in me hiding it, because if I see somebody, they're gonna be like, it's a little different than your Instagram. Yeah. But I try not to make it be. So I'm gonna take my brush and just kind of like pat my sponge and just kind of pat that in very gently, and I feel like that helped some. I'm gonna look in my mirror back here past the camera to see if I hate it or not. My box light went out, like it started smoking, so if the lighting's off, I have the tiniest ring light to try to compensate for it, but I kind of don't feel like it's doing what I want, but it's giving it its best, so I'm very thankful that it's doing that. Now for freckles. I'll probably do that off camera. And as far as lipstick, the Gerard Cosmetics Invasion one is like not gonna budge for a really, really long time. So I'll probably do that. That way I can say that I know it's something that won't budge. Where did I just had that lipstick. Where did it go? I had the lipstick in front of me the whole time and I just spent 5 minutes looking for it. That's just how it is sometimes. But I'm gonna take the ColourPop Lippie pencil in Field Day from their Poppy collection. I really need to get that palette because I have the little ray of sunshine. Sometimes I do this too. Alright, I have it fixed. Let me find my sharpener because I do need to sharpen it. Probably not going to talk through this. I suck at lining my lips anyway. I have no top lip and I overline it. So I'm going to try to do that very carefully and then use the Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte Lipstick in Invasion. I have some lips now, but I do have to say this Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte, it lasts. I hear that people talk about like the Maybelline Superstay, or I don't even know if that's the name of it. I had one, I tried it, it crumbled and just was a messy disaster. And I was like, I don't understand how people say this stays, because it didn't work for me. But this one works wonders. I love it. It lasts. I can go eat. I can go, like, if one day I go out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get margaritas, and on Mondays at my favorite restaurant they have endless enchilada Mondays. I could go eat endless enchiladas and drink endless margaritas and this lipstick would still be there. So it's my favorite. So what I think I'm gonna do now is go and do my lower lash line and pop on some lashes, and then I'll come back. I'm gonna use my Urban Decay All Nighter Honey to lock this in place because this really does do that, and I will do that after I do the rest of my stuff. But I just want to let you know because I probably won't do this on camera because I do not want to get it on my lens. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish up my eyes and finish up my tutorial on the eyes, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so this is everything put together. I went ahead and I added some of the, I do believe it's called Princess Cut So Juicy. Yeah, Princess Cut So Juicy lip gloss over my lips because they are dry from the last time that I wore this lipstick for so long. I wore it for like 12 hours, so I was really impressed. I went ahead and I used the All Nighter Honey from Urban Decay, and that will usually keep my makeup in place. I can sweat, I can exercise, my makeup doesn't budge, I have no separation from my nose or my chin. I have the best results with those ones. Like, I've had the regular All Nighter and the Honey. I don't know what the difference is, but they work. So yeah, I'm sorry that my energy has been kind of off. That I don't really want to talk about it, but you know, everything will be fine. So that's just that. But yeah, I don't want to keep you here too long, and I need to go edit this video so that I can see you at some point tomorrow. So, which would be Wednesday, which will be today when this goes up. So anyway, let me know what you'd like to see next down below. Don't forget to use hashtag slightly unblended for your chance to be featured in an upcoming video. And if you'd like to keep up with my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I will have all my social medias linked down below. I will have my Instagram where I'm the most active, TikTok, my almost abandoned Facebook account, and my Twitter that I forget about sometimes until I'm like, oh, there's a tweet notification. So yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, if you'd hit that subscribe button, it would make my day. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye.